I found that interesting, coming from Oklahoma State, last name Holiday, no relation.
Yes. Well, you had to look, though, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got Pittsburgh last.
I do. I think the dark magic is over. I think it's over. I don't think Mike Tomlin can just continually being that team that wins 9 or 10 games and makes it into the playoffs every year. It's done. It's gone.
He's won 17 years in a row.
Yep, it's not happening. The dark magic's done. This year, though, I've got to win 7 games.
Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
PE and lunch. That has stayed true to form, hasn't it?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Well, hello and welcome, Wabash, to another football-driven Benchwarmer Basement Banter episode. And this is a special one, guys.
It is.
This is exciting.
We're excited.
Yeah, this is
So,
near and dear to our hearts.
First things first, follow us on
Yes.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Kick. All the things.
And hit the start button. There we go. We're rolling.
There we go.
No, like he said, we appreciate the support on all formats.
We've got 1,100 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. And we just passed 60,000 views on YouTube. I got
Yes,
seen
we
that
did.
notification,
Crap.
too.
We've been doing very well.
Both numbers significantly.
YouTube's
bigger
kind of went
than our
crazy
town.
the last couple of weeks. We'd like to keep that ball rolling.
Yeah.
We would.
We're really excited. We thank you for all the support we've gotten.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep
without-
coming at you.
Without
It's great.
further ado, let's get started.
Let's
Yeah.
talk not just football, guys. Some great football.
The
Greatness here.
best players of our lifetime.
We're going with our favorite
Our
players.
favorites.
I was getting there, guys. Let me finish my sentence.
Have at it. The floor's yours,
Yeah,
big guy.
sorry,
Drum roll.
sir.
Yeah, so what I was going to say, the best players of our lifetimes that we experienced, like just stuff that we saw the most of, like I'm going to have a lot of Packers. He's going to have some Saints on there. He kind of packed back and forth on what he followed. But he was real big on the Saints in that time.
Big on this guy right
yes,
What a
loved him some
bandwagon
Drew
jumper
Brees,
like me.
and you were 3 different teams there for a little while as well.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I went dark for a
Hold
little bit
on.
though when
We got
Brett Favre
clarified.
left town and went to Minnesota. I was on the Minnesota bandwagon for
Yeah.
like 1 year.
You were emotionally distraught. And
Yes.
That led to some bad decisions.
Yes.
Hey, I was there when Pujols left for the Cardinals. Like,
Yep.
we go through this in sports. We're passionate about it. We love it.
Yeah.
We're back, and yeah, you're gonna know who we followed and liked.
Yep.
By our picks. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's hit those picks. And we're gonna start at quarterback.
Yep.
Where else
Start
are we gonna
off
start?
on quarterback.
Yeah. I'm gonna start right now with the one and only sheriff, the man, the myth, the legend, Peyton freaking Manning.
Yeah.
Tough to go wrong with that
Tough to go
4-time
wrong.
MVP.
That's right. And hey, to my wife, the best Manning brother. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
They got
He
the same
is.
amount of Super
Dude,
Bowls.
I don't want to go there. No. Peyton needed defense, and he had more. But no, I Peyton Manning growing up, like, oh my gosh, those Colts teams, so much freaking fun. I mean, every week it's not, are they going to score? It's how much are they going to score? What are they going to win by? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many years. Yes, Euler, did they only 2 Super Bowls? Fact. I wish he had won more. The playoffs, that lack of defense struggled some.
Yeah, but then
But-
defense won and won.
Well, that's in Denver.
That's
I
in
love the
Denver.
Indy days.
So-
I love the Indy days.
I'm
But you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. It did.
It's the only reason he tied his brother.
Maybe lost him. Yeah, don't go there. But Eli not on this list. No, I love Peyton. All the different receivers he worked with too,
Yeah,
and
man.
made him great. Like, Peyton's my dude. I mean, it was. And the thing of it is, like, did he have the athleticism? All this? No. He was from here up.
Oh, he's a true field general. Like
Yes.
he,
Yes,
I thought
he
you were
was.
gonna say game manager. I
No,
was gonna slap
no,
you. I
no,
like
he's
that.
a field general.
Yes, he was.
He was a pocket passer. He knew where he was going, and he hit his spots.
He did, and his players better have been in that spot, or they were getting chewed out.
Yeah.
Donald Brown.
And Jeff
please.
Saturday snapped the ball.
Yes. Just snap the ball,
I call the plays.
please.
You snap the ball. Do your job. Yeah. That's my guy, Peyton. And my other, I went with Mahomes, Chiefs fan. Go figure. I can't wait to see at the end of the day, like where he stacks up all time with Brady. I mean, he's already surpassed Manning on Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But Mahomes, and I like it. The dude, I like him as a person too. Like I really.
He's the most likable person on that Chiefs team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's
he
been
seems
fun
like
in
a good dude.
retirement too. Like he's making some great commercials. He's on a lot. The Manning cast is
Oh,
fantastic.
you're talking Peyton. I was talking Mahomes. But
Okay,
yeah.
whatever.
Peyton, yeah, his personality. He's hell of a.
Who said Mahomes?
Oh,
We're moving
well,
on
I was
to
doing
Mahomes.
my two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go
you
to
do your
two.
other one. Fine.
He already did.
Mahomes sucks. Anyway, let's talk about our quarterback.
All right, let's go.
Aaron Rodgers.
Obviously.
Also a 4-time MVP winner.
How many Super Bowls he have? Huh?
One.
That's what I thought.
One.
Loser.
The most
He's got to.
the most obvious pick of all time for Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's very fit.
Well, anyway, there's no love lost on that. He's my guy. I'm an honorary Jets fan right now because I have an AFC team and an NFC team because of Aaron Rodgers. My name is Aaron Rodgers, by the way, in case anyone that was watching didn't know that.
We should have covered that at the beginning, first episode, but hey,
Yeah,
we didn't.
well,
There we go. Aaron Rodgers. So works out pretty good.
I went with him for obvious reasons. Packers fan, Aaron Rodgers fan.
Best
Love the guy.
best
Yeah.
Four
ball.
MVPs, and he's also probably got the best QBR of all time. I think.
I just gonna say just the best pure
As I
ball
said,
thrower of all
Has
time.
anyone ever
Yes,
placed the ball better than Rodgers?
no.
No,
Like honestly,
put it
his
in the
mo-
mailbox.
yeah,
Yeah.
his mobility too underrated through the years. Like some of the Houdini escapes he'd have, like he was very good.
Showing a little bit again of that this year. He had 5 rushes for 24 yards yesterday.
Ooh. Did he really?
Yeah.
The Broncos game? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
all right.
He was moving. He
Didn't
wasn't
show
throwing,
up-
but he was
it didn't
moving.
Show on the scoreboard, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
And my other guy is the GOAT.
Thomas
Brady.
Leopold
Yeah.
Brady.
Yes,
I love
that was
that
made up
name.
middle name. I know it was.
I love it.
I have no idea or not, but I liked it.
He won
Go
6
with it.
Super Bowls, 3 MVPs. He's
Yeah,
the best quarterback of any generation.
Yeah, well, his balls are
he's
flat.
A, he,
That's all I have
is,
to say.
he is a great game manager.
That again.
Nobody
This might
manages.
be a comedy hour tonight.
Nobody manages the game better than Tom Brady. I'm telling you.
Well, when you have that many Super Bowls, yeah.
So what do you got, stat guy?
All right, so if you see this jersey I'm wearing, I got Drew Brees as always my QB1. There's
Okay.
something
Brees.
about him. He's just so accurate.
I think he's number
the
2
little-
all time on throwing yardages.
and I think, he's number.
Brady passed him.
He's number
Yeah,
2
he's
on.
number
I think
Yeah,
he's
he
2
was-
on
It
that.
was Manning, then Breeze got it, then Brady. Yeah.
And I think he's 2 on touchdowns.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had-
Third
he had-
Brady,
he
that
said-
Saint offense was insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
and he was 6 foot tall, right?
Yeah,
Like,
6
that's
foot
what I
tall.
love about him.
Just.
I
I think
think
my,
he's-
my favorite thing was always he was just giving up on
Yeah.
completely,
San
just
Diego
thrown
threw him
away
away.
for
Yeah.
trash, and came back, got
Maybe
with
he
the
just had a minor
Saints,
shoulder surgery, so, you know.
got with the Saints, and then just started
Yeah.
setting records. Him
Yeah,
and Sean
he did.
Payton.
Good combo.
That
Very good.
Super Bowl against
Nance,
the
yeah, don't talk about that.
yeah, you
They
know,
beat Peyton.
they beat
did.
Peyton.
They
That's
did.
a
Tracy
surprise
freaking Porter, was that
onside
it?
kick.
Yeah,
So,
that pick six was a
yeah.
killer.
Was that the Super Bowl where Pierre Thomas went insane?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think he
Yeah.
had a solid game. Yeah,
Also,
it was the ballsy kick.
I watched it and then got very sick and ended up in the hospital and had my gallbladder removed right after that.
Wow,
That
I
was
forgot
that
about
Super Bowl.
that. So
Yeah.
it's very memorable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
So,
remember the
but
surgeries.
I just always loved Drew Brees. I couldn't tell you why. Purdue Boilermaker
Yeah,
too.
Big Ten.
Big
I'm
Ten
all
guy.
in. I like the dude.
Just
Wearing
love,
black and
loved
gold
him.
for life.
Yeah.
That's right. He's consistent.
My quarterback too. I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. I like
He's a monster.
he's a monster, but I just like Josh Allen the person.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
That's
thing
the fade
about him.
He's a
background, right?
great personality.
He is
Yeah,
a great
he is.
personality, great
Fantastic golfer,
person,
too.
great golfer. That's one of my reasons I
Yeah.
like him was
Yeah.
watching him on Bob Does Sports. Shout out that YouTube channel. It was hilarious. The video with him. What do you need to watch that?
I will check it out.
And then just all the other things he does. He's hilarious. He's always so charitable, hitting
Yeah.
home runs every year in that softball tournament in
Yeah.
Buffalo that are like
He's very
500
athletic.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can just do it all. So
He
I
can.
like Josh Allen.
I have
He's a
no
great dude.
argument against that. I honestly
Farmer
even as-
too. Farmer
yes,
too.
I said
Forgot
FFA.
that. FFA
yeah, He
guy.
was big in FFA.
Yeah.
His jacket was actually at national
Yep.
convention. And I'm gonna tell you what, as a Chiefs fan, I would love nothing more than see Josh Allen get a
A
Super
guy
Bowl.
that went
I really
into
like the
college
guy.
had no major offers
Yeah.
other than
He went to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wyoming. And look
Well,
what
that was
he's
his
done.
only major college offer.
It was. And look what he's done. So I
Yeah.
like your picks. I like all
Yeah.
our picks except for Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, well, now that we're doing the quarterbacks, you've already done a sheriff. Why don't you do the running back and start with a Marshall?
I could. Oh!
What a segue!
Oh, man, you threw me for a loop on that. Nice one. And I stayed with my theme. He was a Colt and a Ram. There you go. He made the greatest show on turf, guys. I mean, the receiving out of the backfield, he changed the game for running
He
backs.
did.
I think it wasn't just 3 yards cloud of dust. Like the way they used him, 1,000-yard receiver, rusher, did it all. Was amazing. Was the Marshall, and I mean, he just, like I said, he made that team. I love him. I love those Rams team. Greatest show on turf because of him.
And your number 2 guy. Also a Rams great.
Yes, and I can't say he was on the greatest teams with the Rams,
But,
but
Man,
he made that team watchable.
he was the
Dude,
team.
that-
He was the team. Yeah.
There's
all you had
no
every Sunday.
no NFL player I felt more sorry for
Yes.
than him.
When he
Yeah.
went to Atlanta, I was
Steven
thrilled.
Jackson, by the way. I don't think we
sorry.
said his name.
We buried the lead there, but you know,
Steven Jackson.
he was a true battery ram.
Dude,
really
he was ridiculous for
Every
the
team
Rams.
knew what they were going to do. That's all they had, and he still would get it.
It's like,
done.
are they going to run it to him or are they going to pass it to him?
Yeah,
Like, what's
exactly.
gonna happen?
Like, let's hit 39. That's all we have to
He
do.
had 9 straight 1,000-yard
Yes,
seasons.
I believe so. And it's funny because he followed right after Falk. Like,
Yep.
went from one great back
Yep.
to another, but totally different game. Jackson was more of a bruiser. Amazing he made it as long as he did.
Yeah.
Honestly, with that. So,
He,
yeah.
he carried the weight of that franchise on his
he
shoulders.
Did. He
big
did.
time.
So I will always respect him, love that guy.
Yes.
That's my guys.
Okay,
So,
well,
we're-
since we started with...
Well, hold on. You and me can go on the same person for this because we have the same
Is it-
guy.
but I
Ooh.
had a segue to my other guy.
Oh,
Well,
Talked
okay.
about guys that stuck
Well,
around forever.
You're all
yeah.
about the segues. I love
We
it.
can get to the segue,
Okay.
but we'll just go with
All right.
our RB1 is going to
Drum
be
roll.
LaDainian
LaDainian
Let's see,
Tomlinson.
Yeah. If I didn't want to go to my biases,
He's not the original
honestly,
LT, but he's the LT that I know.
He's the LT that's
he's
a
a
lot.
little less crazy.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's fair
yeah.
to say. Yeah.
Yep.
Tomlinson's amazing. Honestly, fantasy goat. I
Yes,
think
he
still,
is one of the
oh, yeah.
goats of fantasy.
He is the. I think.
Yeah.
With the, what do you have that set the record, then broke his own record for touchdowns in a season? Like it's unreal. Was their offense?
Also, another guy catching the ball, coming out of the backfield.
Yeah.
He could
Yeah,
just
he
do
could
it
do
all.
it all. And he was on some pretty bad Chargers teams.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Basically, it was at that time, it was Antonio Gates
Yep.
and LaDainian
Rivers
Tomlinson.
getting those to the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all they
Yep.
had. Yeah, made him relevant.
Gotta wonder if Mr. Drew Brees would have stayed there, what that Chargers
Good
team may
point.
have been.
And
But
I was always thinking, I think Miami was the team
I think
that
Philip Rivers was a pretty good
He was.
option. Like,
he was, but I would take Breeze over him.
Yeah.
any
Oh,
day of the week.
absolutely.
I really would. I would have been interesting to see those two together.
dude may have more kids than Tyreek Hill, though.
Really?
on
Dude could
purpose.
pull out of a driveway.
Here's the thing. At least his are all with
Tyreek's
the.
just getting warmed up. You just
At least Phillips are all with the same woman.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I forgot about that. He fields his own football team. doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
And
got 11
kids,
now.
yeah.
I think his son I just seen is starting to make waves as a high school
That'd be
quarterback.
awesome.
I think he's a
Is
sophomore.
Rivers still coaching high school? I think.
Probably for him.
I think he
probably.
was. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, let's hear this
Who's
great
the other
segue.
Well, we were talking
Yeah.
about guys that played forever when you were talking
Oh.
about Steven Jackson.
I know
Amazing
where
that he
you're
lasted
going.
as long as he did. I'm talking about Mr. Longevity, Mr. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
He wasn't that way his whole career, but the last 5 or 6 years of his
Yeah.
career, it was Frank Gore. Frank Gore, I think he's third all-time on the all-time rushing list. A lot of that just because of how long he played, but he did have 5 or 6
Yeah.
really, really good
Yeah.
years with San Francisco.
When
Yes,
a
he
running back
was.
almost overlaps with his son, like his son's not that far off.
He was in the
He's
NFL.
in the
his,
NFL
his son was in Miami when he
yes,
retired.
Yeah.
yes,
So,
exactly.
it
And
was
he's
close.
a running back. That
It was
doesn't
very
happen.
close.
And I think that Frank Gore only retired because no one wanted him finally. He
Yeah.
said that he would keep coming back. He also had a great knockout.
Yeah, he did.
He did. I think he had his other career on the side. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been getting hit all my career. I'm gonna hit some people.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that's about all I got to say about Frank Gore. Great. Was there for most of our childhoods.
All right.
You got your segues down. Good job.
So I'm going to give off my RB2 with the great quote, one of my favorite quotes. Nixon may use it at his fantasy football team, but it is also a quote that I use almost daily.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just here so I won't get fined.
All right.
That's right. We're going
Beast
beast
mode.
mode here.
Dude.
Even though he had the beast quake against this team that I was
Yeah, yeah.
definitely rooting for.
He's got some other good phrases
You-
that we
you-
can't say on TV.
You just can't-
in SF, whatever
Yeah.
it is, not so friendly.
You just can't not love that man. I mean, everything he done, he's a great running back.
He's also a
and-
great person.
Great person.
really is. He means well.
He supports his local area. I think he grew up in Compton, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reps it well.
Well, he does. He does. But I think he goes back for Thanksgiving every year and gives out a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
he's very
turkeys. And like
charitable.
a guy that's actually also very frugal with his money. He
Yeah,
said that he
yeah.
hasn't
He's
spent-
got a restaurant in Compton, I think.
It's not what
He's
you would
got
expect. Like,
all
honestly,
kinds of
you'd
stuff.
think he'd be a guy a little looser with the money.
Also,
Crazy.
shout out him on that golf cart when he was at Cal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a funny
That was
moment
it.
too. He's so memorable.
And he was on that show we used to watch, The League. He came
Yeah.
on there making fun of them not running the ball
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl. It's
May
like,
have been a
yeah.
little salty
to
about
do
it.
that? Yeah. That's why you don't throw the beer. You run it to him. Come on, you might drop
Well,
it.
just,
Like,
Yeah.
It's like right there. I'll just run it over to you.
I'll run it over. Yeah. All time to make fun of it. Like the dude was great. He was. So I love it. I think at this point in time we're gonna take a little break
Yep.
and come back and some ball catchers. And we're
Yeah.
back. Wabash YouTube, everybody, and we're going to the awesome ball catchers.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's like who somebody drafts in fantasy every year. This guy. I'm not knocking it. It's working.
It's worked.
2-1, guys.
Trust the process.
Trust the
process.
process.
Yeah.
Running backs will come.
That's fair. They get broke every week. So
Exactly. So do wide
Well, you,
receivers too.
you
That's
traded for
guys.
you traded for one
Yeah,
because my
yeah.
wide receivers got broke. Yeah.
Hey, shot clock guy. Boom. There we go.
yeah.
All right. So we're gonna let you start it off because your picks are like sentimental. I love
Yeah.
sentimental.
There's
I
a
went-
reason he's wearing this jersey.
I went two guys that were part of my childhood watching the Packers.
There you go.
Greg Jennings, starting it out. One of the best Packers receivers. I almost went with Donald Driver here too. So give me a break. Donald
We've had some
Driver was
good
around
ones.
forever. Greg Jennings was the better receiver, so I went with him. Not
Yeah.
much to say with it. I remember a lot of touchdowns. Speaking of touchdowns, Jordy Nelson. I believe he
There you
has
go.
the rookie record for most touchdowns receptions by a Packer.
I just like him. He's a farm boy that scored a lot of tutties.
Yep.
Like he'd be off shelling corn, stuff like that.
That's
and then
right.
Go score tutties. I'm like,
He's
He went-
actually, what'd you say that he is now?
He's the fines appeal officer for the NFL, I believe.
Okay,
That
so
may
that's a good
that
point.
may not be the
Everyone
official.
James didn't
Minor.
play last week.
Yeah.
You guys had a lot of good guys throwing the football. I like your consistency there. You know.
Yeah,
Seeing overlap there.
there's got to be some good ball catchers over there because they've had Hall of Famers throwing to them
Yeah.
all time. So you're gonna get some guys
The
that reap
balls are
the
placed well to
benefits.
catch. There you go.
They're gonna get some guys that reap the benefits.
And Greg Jennings
didn't
liked
go.
to put the team on his back though.
He did put
did,
the team
yeah.
on his back though.
That's a shout out to YouTube on that one. So that's that joke. But yeah. Well, hey, you want yours now?
Yeah,
Who's your
I'll
ball
go
catcher,
first.
guys?
So my first ball catcher, I think this is purely off of fantasy football. I remember I drafted him in one of our early years of the league that we all have together that we've had forever. It's gonna be Mr. and all-time nickname, Megatron.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
And it's very well suited.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely
that's not
love.
just a fantasy thing. That guy's a
That-
monster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
he
it
was.
was. I mean
Literally
the
just the catch radius. Stupid.
was
For the
everywhere.
whole year.
Would just you just throw it up. Stafford always just threw it up there, and he was gonna get it.
He down there somewhere.
But
Yeah,
like
check it.
many people, the Lions made him quit early.
They did.
did.
Barry Sanders followed that theme. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember when
only
they quit
9
reading that, I'm
seasons, but he's still a Hall of Famer.
like, oh,
Yeah.
no
He could
doubt,
probably
yeah.
still come back and get like 800 yards. I bet.
But you could. Red zone target.
Yeah.
Bring him back now.
Yes,
Why-
exactly.
He's
what
not
are you
really
doing?
that much older than Julio, and Julio just retired
No.
last year. So.
Yeah, and he's been saving it.
I
all
just
these
think
years.
about I think it was the Bengals that lined up 3 cornerbacks on him at one time,
And he still
and he
caught it.
still caught it. I mean, his prime years, there was literally nothing you could do with him.
Nah,
It
we got
was
6
just-
guys this side of the field, the other 6 on Megatron. There we go. That's our defense.
and
Yeah.
then my number 2, arguably, probably the number 2 receiver of all time. You could argue it.
Ooh, that'd be a good conversation another day.
Very funny guy, Randy Moss.
I mean, you had me when you mooned the other team.
Mooned
There
the
you
other
go,
team.
in Lambeau.
Straight cash on me.
Straight cash, on me.
I love it.
Comes back with the Patriots.
I can't afford it, Mr. Moss. Come on.
Bill Belichick just told another great story on him whenever he traded for him, and Randy Moss kept hanging up the phone because he's like, "There ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way the Patriots traded for me, ain't no way." And then he, comes out there and has his 20-some
Yeah.
touchdown season with them.
And I'll just never forget him that season that just throw the hand up.
Yeah,
He did
that
all
was
the time,
all it
but that
was.
year, he just put it up, Brady,
Yep.
on him. Like, it was fun. I
And he
didn't
has
like the Patriots.
one
It
of
was fun
one of
to
the
watch.
best stat lines of all times that Thanksgiving game against
Yeah.
Cowboys.
3 catches,
3 catches,
163 yards,
3
3
tutties.
touchdowns.
I told you they ain't tackling me.
Yeah.
That's I scored. I was watching with Julian Edelman, and he said that he started doing that, and Tom Brady pulled him aside. He said, "You're not Randy Moss. Cut that crap out."
Yeah.
No, Jules. It's like, but I'll wear the red gloves. You can see me. Don't care. I'm not throwing you the ball.
Just an athletic freak too. I mean, he
He
was
was unreal.
all state in basketball with Jason Williams. How about that?
Wow. Didn't
White
know that?
chocolate.
I believe it.
One of the few
Make it
success
hot.
stories out of Rand University.
Rand University. Yeah, that's a good 30 for 30.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. He was great. The
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
personality too, all he brought. So, my guy wasn't quite as personable, but he put the numbers up. Steady Eddie here, Marvin Harrison
Okay.
goes right in with Peyton,
Yep.
Sheriff there.
Okay.
Hey, someone had to catch the balls, put up the numbers, and Marvin did. He had the record for most catches in the year for a long while. I mean, that Colts offense.
I think
was
that
something to
Michael
watch.
Thomas ended up
Yes.
breaking that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, well, I like Marvin better, but yeah, he did get the record. I mean, him and Peyton, it was a combination. Might have been. Oof. You got Montana Rice. That's the best all time. Fair to say. They're not far behind.
No,
They're
no,
amazing,
they're not.
And he produced a very athletic son, so we'll see where that goes.
Yep.
Harrison Jr.'s even
His
bigger
son,
than that.
his son may be better.
He
Yeah.
might be. He might be. My next one's sentimental, guys. Torrey, Big Game Holt.
Okay.
I freaking love it. The dude, I mean, he was electric. Some of the catches he made, stupid, and his name backs it up. Bright lights, the Monday nights, all that. I'll never forget a catch he made against Seattle. The Rams were up like 28-10, blew the lead. That's what they did back in those days. And just Bulger chucked one up to him, and somehow it bounces off his arm, the defender. It does this spin thing into his hand, and he just takes it to the house. It was like he was toying with it. He was amazing. Route runner. Beautiful. I gave him the nod over Isaac Bruce barely.
Okay.
Love both those guys.
I was wondering if Isaac Bruce was going to make an appearance in this.
He's on a not honorable mention officially.
Didn't
he is
Bruce
there in
just
my heart.
finally get voted into the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did. And I hope Holt gets there.
Yeah, I
someday.
hope so
Yeah.
too.
We don't quite get the Hall of Fame voting, but a lot of these guys should be.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as baseball.
I actually
I
thought
don't
Holt would
understand
get there
all of
before
I did
Bruce.
too.
But,
I did too. Yeah.
But Bruce had him in longevity. Like you
Yeah.
forget about the LA.
He had
days of Bruce.
the compiling,
Yeah.
the counting numbers.
Yeah, the counting stats. He was up there. Bruce is way up there all the time, honestly.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to go
Tight
favorite
end.
position? Tight ends. There we go. You guys go ahead.
Well, what's weird is these two guys that we have listed. Well, me and him have the same, and your
Yeah,
guy. They all played for the same team.
I didn't feel right in my pick too. Like,
Yeah.
it was
But
tough,
me
go
and
ahead.
Rogers,
Hey,
we got?
Drum roll.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony G, boys.
Yeah, he was
I'm
amazing.
Tony Gonzalez? Question mark.
I really struggled with this, and a person that I ended up putting in my honorable mention was Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
So they were great tight ends during our group, and
Oh.
Jason Witten was in the conversation too.
He was very
Three
good, too.
great Hall of Fame tight ends that were right there in a group.
Yeah.
They may not be Hall of Famers yet, but they're going to be.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like
was in the
give it to
same thing.
Tony G for his personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
He's a broadcaster now.
A
for us
broadcaster all the
and,
time.
we see him on TV. He's still a great personality
Yeah.
and just a guy that you want to like.
Yeah,
And
you do.
he was one of the first players to really revolutionize the
That's what I
tight end
started saying.
position.
He changed
Yes.
the position. It went from just blocking to the receiving
Yeah.
abilities. Shannon Sharp, I think, was the first one to set that standard.
Yeah, yeah.
But Gonzalez went up.
He
there.
took
Yeah, he
another
took it to
step
another
He
level.
did. He did.
Yeah.
And that's why the guy I've got Kelsey, Travis Kelsey. Not even my favorite Kelsey brother. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
But honestly, with what he did even before Mahomes with Alex Smith, like the ability, I've not seen someone with the ability to find the soft spots in the
He
defense.
may be one of the best route runners
Yes,
at the tight end
yes,
position of
yes.
all
I
time.
don't even know if he actually runs routes though. He just kind of goes out
He
there
just
and
does
does
his
it.
own thing. That's still
Yeah.
running a route.
Yeah,
it's just not
it is, but he
not
goes
in a
impromptu.
textbook route.
No, it's not. But his ability to find soft spots like he
get
does
open.
and to do
Yeah.
it is like you look at him. Yeah, he's a big guy. But the athleticism, like you see him run against a receiver, it's like, oh no way, he'll get open. He does. He did for years. The other guy, I had Kittle on there. I'm like, I was surprised how hard the tight end position was.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the love of the others, but I was like, oh my gosh.
Something your second tight end has that the first one doesn't. Kittle is a great blocker.
Yes, yes, that's why I almost put him above because
Yeah.
complete tight end.
Yes.
And his personality, dude.
Oh yeah, Kittle's got
The
one of the
people's
best.
tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the people's champ. He is.
Yeah.
We talked about the receiver documentary. You see him on there. He's just a big teddy bear. He's
Yep.
great, but intense as heck when he gets on the field. Love the guy. So yeah, I went Kelsey, but this is kind of by default.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't know. They're
We
all
got-
good.
Two more kind of fantasy football positions, I guess, on the offense. We got another offensive position we'll get to later, but
Yeah.
These guys are the toughest.
these guys
You're
are the
right, they
toughest.
are.
That's
They got a
right.
lot of hits, guys. They do. I mean, it's crazy back there.
We're gonna go with kickers here.
They got the most pressure on them too. I think.
They do have a
It's
lot
like-
of pressure on them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as a kicker, it's like, all you're doing is freaking kicking. You're expected everything you walk out there, it's like, okay, we did the hard work. We got hit. We got you down there. You just kicked the ball to the uprights.
All right,
Harder
stat
than
guy,
others.
start us off.
I believe he still holds the record for most points scored in the NFL.
You're correct.
Possibly one of the most clutch players of all time.
Also
He's been
correct.
given a lot of opportunities to be clutch.
He has.
Yeah. He's
Did
been
he-
on a lot of very good teams.
Did he
Yes.
ever did he ever miss any of those opportunities you can
I
think
don't-
of?
I
That
can't
think of
recall
no.
a time
No, I really
that
can't.
he
Mr.
missed an
Adam
important kick.
Yeah.
Vinatieri.
If
Yeah.
it's off the top of my head, didn't he win them their first 3 Super Bowls on kicks?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know he did
I
the
know they
first
won by
two.
3. Yeah.
He
I think
iced a
did.
ton of playoff
Yeah.
game winners. I know
He
that.
did.
And then he went to the Colts. Same kind of stuff there. I
He
mean, he
did.
just all time,
His longevity too.
probably the greatest kicker of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue that. I went
Until
sentimental.
somebody
I
beats
also
him.
went sentimental.
Yeah.
But a guy that was around forever as well, and that
I'll bet you I
may
can
be
figure yours out. You figure mine out.
well,
Packers
you know,
out.
your guy's still in the league. Kind
That's
of.
fair.
Yeah.
He's on his last leg.
Got him. Someone call him.
That's a good one. Greg the Leg.
Yeah.
I mean, when his nickname's Greg the Leg, that's all you need to know. But him and I'll get to the other guy who was the Rams offense back in Steven Jackson
Unfortunately.
days. It was bad. It was horrible. If you got on the opponent's side of the field, you had a chance for 3 points.
Greg
Rams
Gillig,
fans, you know what I'm talking
he
about.
kind of revolutionized the first group of guys that were consistent over 50
Yes,
yards.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. He was. Because before it was really you get inside of 50, you know, like that 30,
Yeah.
that's the target. He moved it back. He was great, and I will always love him for that. That's my guy.
And Boswell short to follow after him as far
Yeah.
as Prater.
And
But
then Prater,
like
now
Zerline
Aubrey.
was the first one that really
Yeah.
consistently hit those long kicks.
Yep. And now Tucker Butker, that just gets farther.
Yeah,
down.
absolutely.
Aubrey, amazing now.
Yeah.
But for this exercise, I'm going Greg the Leg.
Yeah.
You?
I went with a guy that kicked with the Packers for what seemed like a lifetime.
Yeah.
I think this is actually his first year not kicking for him.
I think. You might be right.
Yep.
He was there forever,
He's
yeah.
been kicked. I went with Max Crosby. Not Max Crosby.
Mason
Crosby.
Mason Crosby.
Mason Crosby. He had the Raiders on the brain, I guess.
Well, we did just do a football episode.
Yeah,
So, you know,
I want Mason Crosby. I think that he is the all-time points leaders for the Packers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
went with him. He kicked for us for the better part of 20 years.
Yeah.
So he's.
Longevity,
I know that
you know.
by the time his career's over, when he's kicking for us last year, he pulled that helmet off, showed them that salt and pepper.
Yeah.
The last couple years were definitely forgettable with him.
He knew it was time.
He
was
really
time,
was
yeah.
starting to slack off, and I think it was a good time for him to hang him up when he did.
It's like you just remember the good times, though. That's where it's
I don't
at.
know if he would
I
have had
get
a
it.
job this year anyhow.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll see Vinatieri is about the same way at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was getting rough. Greg the Leg, look what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, need no one to hang it up, but they were great.
Our last position we'll go through.
Will you do punter, too, while we're on kicking?
No, let's go kick returner.
Okay, kick returner.
That's
Sounds
on my
good.
list. It's on the graphic we're going to
I like
show
to
in a
mix things
second.
up.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
gotcha.
There's
yeah.
a graphic for
There's
this.
a graphic.
That's what. That's
Stop
the
it.
call. Okay, we won't get fancy.
Kick returner, I think me and Woody have the same guy.
We
He
do.
just went into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Greatest kick
Rightfully so.
returner of all
Absolutely,
time.
yeah.
Devin Hester, of
Devin
course. I mean, there's nobody like him.
It's crazy that Bears team, how instrumental a punt returner, kick returner was to them. In the Super Bowl, I remember the Colts.
Oh,
they
yeah.
got burned.
They did.
Off the bat on it.
Immediately.
And they purposely were kicking it out of bounds
Yeah.
on the kickoff.
And
It's
they
like,
messed up, and
Yeah.
it did not work out
Right.
well.
We're more afraid of the punt returner than Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
That's where that was at. Don't blame him on that.
Yeah.
But he was like, I remember Dante Hall was the first one I remember changing the game, but then Hester came in.
And
Oh my
it's
gosh.
just completely different. Nobody's
Yeah.
been like him since.
No, they haven't. So electric for a
Yeah.
while. I mean, to carry their offense like he did. It was
That, he
amazing.
is so good, he ended up making his way onto the offensive side of the ball, too.
Yeah, they did use him in
Yeah.
his limited capacity on that. And
Now,
the dude was very talented.
Rogers' guy,
This is a guy that actually a lot of people I've heard have said that he may be the best pure athlete that they had ever seen.
Yeah.
They said that he did all out in college coming in, and
Oh, he was a stud in college.
Just could not stay healthy in the NFL.
Yeah.
He had
a great
migraines
career
all the
still.
time.
We're going with Percy
concussion.
Harvin here.
Yeah, him and
Uh,
Tebow in college were fun.
He was
Yeah.
a great
They
kick
were
returner. He ran several of them back.
Yeah.
great offensive player, too.
And yes, he was also a
Say-
great wide receiver. I think
And
they-
running
Hester
back.
beat on
They-
the weapon
they also-
side offensively.
They
Yes.
also
He-
put him back there, even with the Vikings, as a running back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even with AP back there.
Well, in
It was
college he
just
did it
a
all.
You
great
wanted to
athlete.
get him the ball.
Yeah. Balls in his hands, you have a chance.
Yeah.
That's how it was. That's a great call. It
Yeah,
really is.
and actually on this, I had a honorable mention for
Oh,
kick returner.
For a kick returner?
Yes.
Wow, I like
Just
that.
because he returned 2 or 3 back in a short amount of time. Trenton Holiday.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember him with
Interesting.
Denver?
I do remember him.
Denver,
I
Yeah,
remember.
and then Pat McAfee tackled him
I
and he got
know. I was
stabbed.
going to bring that up.
We're going to get to that. We're
Yeah,
going to take
with
a
that-
break, and we'll
All
do
right,
that.
we're gonna
Yeah.
flash up real quick what our teams look
There
like,
we
so
go.
you can see there. That's what we thought of our
Absolutely.
favorite players. We'll come back and
Beautiful, isn't it?
we'll
We'll hit some defense,
hit some
guys.
defense.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we are back. And we're going to go to the other side of the ball now.
This side
Almost.
ball wins championships.
Almost.
It
Still got
does.
to respect the punters, guys.
Ah, yeah.
Can't forget
Yeah,
the
we'll
punters.
start off with the punters.
Hey, when I was watching Rams football, this is the most exciting thing for me. Steven Jackson
You get
got
to see
stopped.
this guy when the defense does the job.
You're dang right. Johnny Hecker was the Rams offense for a while.
Yeah.
It was, what can he do? Now, I mean, honestly, he had a hell of a leg. Like, that was our chance. Field position. That's all you got to do when you're terrible. But I will always love him for that. I mean, the dude, that's all we had. He was Pro Bowl, I don't know how many years, but he kicked the heck out of the ball. He was
Yes,
fun.
absolutely. You go ahead and go with yours, Alex.
Oh,
Oh,
I
this
was,
guy's
I was
good.
going to be lengthy on mine,
Okay, go
possibly,
ahead.
but
We all
we're,
like this
we're
guy.
going to go with Patrick McAfee.
Patrick.
Obviously, everyone now thinks of the show and how big it's got. He's great personality. I watch the show daily. Love him on the wrestling stuff. He's just great. I think he's one of the most entertaining people in the
He's
world.
also one of the best punters of all time.
Everybody
Yes.
forgets how great of a punter he was.
Oh, he was amazing.
He's PFF's all-decade punter for
I
the
was
2010.
disappointed he retired when he did.
Yeah,
Now I get it.
everybody said it was a bad move because he was a
Yeah.
Pro Bowl punter retiring.
National pass, punt, and kick champion.
Also that.
Makes it very clear, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he didn't even know how to punt. He just told the coach that he knew how to punt when he got drafted. He figured it out and was a great punter. And then also, think about this, his kickoffs. His onside kick, I don't remember what year that was, but
There
no,
was no one around him.
well, no, not just that.
No.
No other team in the NFL had any onside kicks that year, and the Colts had 3
yeah,
or 4.
that's right. That's right.
It was
yeah.
crazy. It was just an insane number. And
I
of course,
just-
that one that he shows at the beginning of the show where there's no one else around him.
He said that he dove on that ball thinking that he was going to get like his spleen.
Oh yeah, he
ruptured.
thought he was gonna get creamed. So
My greatest McAfee moment is the tackle. Like we
yeah,
were talking
the
about.
Trendon Holiday
Laying
just absolutely
him
laid him out.
out.
Instant drug test.
He's like, yeah,
He's like
he
it-
makes fun of it.
It,
I'm like,
it,
that's so
it
cool.
helps the guy was like 6 inches shorter than me, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. He's like still check out.
That
my
was
game
when
tape,
Trendon
guys.
Holiday was a big deal, though.
yeah.
He was, and that was a hell of a hit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out Pat
Oh,
McAfee.
Absolutely.
For a similar reason, I went with Tressway, another guy that's got a great personality, and he's hilarious. He's also a fantastic punter. He's the Commanders' punter right now. He's kind of out of work right now.
Well, let's get him
Yeah,
a
he
job.
is.
You want to come join us?
Well,
He's hilarious, right?
He's got a job. He's just, not having to do it because the Commanders don't do a whole lot of that punting
yeah,
anymore.
they don't.
But Tressway's fantastic. If you ever go and look and see some of his punts, he's got a great leg. He can punt it within 10 yards. I think there's 2 seasons ago that he led the league in putting it within the 10-yard line, and I think he's done that a few times in his career. He's been a very good punter.
He got a lot of practice
He's
in.
gotten a lot of
He got a lot
practice
of
over there in
practice
Washington, but
I
this
think-
year he's getting just the
I
opposite.
think McAfee talks about. I think they may have been the same draft class, and he's like, I don't know
Oh my
why
gosh.
Tressway wasn't picked before me.
Yeah.
and
That's
he's like, that guy
crazy.
was great.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna get to
Let's go
defense.
defense.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
now
go
we're on the
D
Now we're
end.
going to
ends.
win some championships.
That's
Yeah, now
right.
we're gonna win some
A lot
championships.
of these guys did. Yeah, these big boys. I want to start D-line. Might as well. Big beefy
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. I got Strahan and Watt.
Yeah.
I
Which
like
Watt?
Strahan.
Which Watt?
JJ. Good call. JJ. Yeah, look at that right there.
That guy right
Shout
there
out to
riding
my
the
wife.
bull.
She loved this guy, and I don't blame her. I mean, look at him. He's a stud. There you go.
Shout out to that bobblehead's going to end up at his house for too long. Not that particular one, but
That is
thought you'd see that
property
coming.
of BBB.
All right, I'll work on that. But no, I mean, Watt was such a force. I'm gonna start Strahan first. He had the sack record. I believe Brett Favre
Yeah.
didn't he kind of fall into his arms?
yeah, was it 16 and a half or 18 and a half?
Oh, no, one that's 22.
Oh,
wasn't it?
wow.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, he was a force for years. Yeah, Eli, you're welcome. He got him the first Super Bowl.
Yep.
Was he around for the second? I don't remember him and
I
Justin
thi-
Tuck.
No, I think he
Tuck
was
took
just there
over.
for the first one.
Yeah. But yeah, Strahan, I mean, was just amazing. The personality too.
Yeah,
Gotta
great
love these defensive
personality.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another one I always liked was Warren Sapp. These guys are kind of crazy. I love it. Watt. Do you guys have Watt too? Anyone else
Yeah,
have him?
we all had Watt, I
We all
believe.
had JJ
Yeah.
Watt? Okay, it's unanimous.
He at
He's
least
great.
made it to honorable mention, if not there.
Well,
Yeah.
He literally that one year, I think he could have won MVP.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about a defensive end as MVP, that's all you need to say.
Yeah.
His greatness. What did he do? He pick 6. He had a fumble.
JJ Swat.
Recovered. Yeah, JJ Swat, and then didn't he caught
Yeah,
receiving
he
touchdowns?
started
He
catching.
played his
receiving.
tight end in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen him got more snaps there. Like the dude was a freak,
Yeah.
could do it all. You talk about personality too. Dude's super charitable. And
Oh,
used to have
one of
those
the great
floods.
personalities.
Did you
Oh
know
my
that he
gosh.
that all that hardware that he wears on his arm?
Yeah.
He actually didn't have any problem with his arm. He wore that so his grandma would recognize him during games.
That's
How
even
the
cooler.
heck did
Yeah.
she not recognize him anyway? He's a monster.
Well,
That's
I mean,
good.
it's a little bit tougher
Yeah.
when you don't
I
see
didn't-
well, but
Yeah.
that's why he
That's
wears that on his
fair.
arm.
Yeah, the follow little bubble thing with the watt
Yeah,
on it there.
That's
So,
I mean, he started
or-
that in high school. He said that.
No
He
kidding.
started wearing that
Didn't know
so
that.
his grandma would recognize him.
Grandma
during
looked for
games.
the guy on top of the quarterback. That's your grandson.
Usually, yes.
Oh man, he might have had the most dominant 3-4 year run.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, injuries got him at the end of his career, but I love the dude.
Surefire
His
Hall,
brother
Hall
may
of
be even
Famer.
better.
He might be, but not in my heart. That's JJ.
Not yet.
All right, what you guys got?
Let's go, Rogers.
I also want DeMarcus Ware.
That's a good one.
It's
he's
just
a
like
beast.
some of those Cowboys teams that
Yeah.
he was on, they never made it to the Super Bowl because they don't do that. But
Well, because they're the Cowboys.
I don't know. He was. If there was a tackle to be made, he was
Yeah.
always there. He's just one of the better defenders of our generation, and
Yeah.
always remember him.
I think
Plus
he had an
the-
address in the backfield of the offense.
Yeah, you find him. He relentlessly harassed quarterbacks.
Absolutely,
yeah.
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 You went J.J. Watt for your number 2, so
Yes.
I'm surprised Woody, with his Colts fandom, didn't go with my first guy. And went with
Freeney?
Dwight Freeney,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Spin Move.
Okay.
Dude, that
I
spin
mean,
move
that
was
spin
electric.
move was always
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to watch. That's
Yep,
honestly the
yep.
only reason I picked him. That spin move was a thing of beauty. And
I
it
strongly consider
got
it.
him into the Hall of Fame.
It did, yeah. And that was cool with those Manning teams. They'd get ahead, and it's like, unleash them.
They
the hounds.
unleashed Freeney and Mathis and just
Mathis.
let them go, and
Yeah.
they would eat.
They would literally meet at the quarterback.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know how
all
many
the
times,
time.
Just
Yeah.
the tackles could not contain those guys. Bam, Colts win. It was pretty cool.
Another guy, probably one of the biggest physical freaks I think ever in football,
Aaron Rodgers.
Julius Peppers.
Oh,
Hey, shout
He
out to
was.
his 1 year as a Packer.
yeah. I started to say he was a Packer.
He
Yeah,
actually had a little bit of a throwback season with the Packers.
He
Yeah, he
longevity. I mean, just an absolute freak athlete.
Yeah.
All those years with Carolina was just a menace.
Yeah,
Played on
absolutely.
the North Carolina Tar Heels basketball team in college.
I forgot about that.
I mean,
oh, he's
just
some
a
hops.
just
yeah.
a freak athlete. Yeah, I think
yeah.
he has a national title with them. I think
I
he was
don't
on one of the.
know.
I
mean, they
think
won
he
a
was
lot,
on
so
one of
that would
those
make
He's a
teams.
big part of that Monsters of the Midway.
Yes,
Yes,
and
he
the
was.
and
Oh
the
my
Bears,
gosh.
just an absolute stud.
Yeah, absolutely. Which that's a good segue to linebacker. You're talking monsters of the Midway. We're
Yep.
done with the defensive line, aren't we?
Now, Holiday?
Yep, absolutely. Not Holiday 2.0.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Urlacher and Holiday together?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Not once.
This guy's on it. He's gonna find it one day. But no, Urlacher. I mean, that Bears D. It was just amazing. I mean, every year they brought it. Urlacher, man in the middle linebacker. Like it's fun to watch. The personality. That's what a lot of these defensive guys. I love their personality.
Yep.
They are. He was great. My other one, I can't go with anyone other than Ray Lewis. And you talk about personality, intensity.
Yeah.
Yes.
He killed him, man.
Dude, and I'm allegedly.
Yeah.
Hey, Ochak got by with it, so right? Yeah, it's next
This,
step.
this is the first one. Me and Woody have the same exact people.
Oh, we have the same
We
people.
have the same
And I
linebackers
went
here.
two
'Cause we're
completely
right.
different
There
guys.
we go.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I
wrong.
mean,
sorry.
Ray Lewis was on teams that literally won Super Bowls because he was on that team.
Oh, in the
Him
intimidation.
and
factor.
another player we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
Those
The-
defensives
uh-huh,
won
they-
those Super Bowls
They
for
were.
that
He
Ravens
just-
team.
The intensity hit the hole, like just
Oh,
destroyed.
gosh,
running
he was
backs.
scary.
I mean, yeah, he was, and
That-
still like comes
There's
to Baltimore.
a great clip that shows with Chad Ochocinco coming across the middle. He's like, I hit Ray.
Ray.
I hit Ray.
I hit right.
And doctor comes, looks at him. He's like, "Are you good?" I hit Ray.
I'm done.
I thought I had him.
I'm good. He had me. Who'd have thought?
Well, speaking of guys that hit people hard.
Oh gosh,
And-
you put two of them here that were some of the hardest hitting linebackers ever.
Also, one just he didn't care if he got fined or not.
No,
was
he
gonna
didn't.
hit you hard.
Yep. I think he tried to hurt people. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I grew
Yeah.
up in a family. My dad is a Steelers
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
so we watched a lot of Steelers games, and I watched a lot of James Harrison. The guy just loved hitting people.
Oh.
He stuck around. I think he played into his 40s.
Didn't he play the Patriots end of his career? Like he
Yeah.
traveled
Yeah.
a while.
And he came back to the Steelers later too.
Yeah,
One
that's
of the
right.
strongest football players of all
say,
Oh,
time.
he
the
literally
guy
had tree
is an
trunks for his
absolute
arms, like-
monster.
Oh.
I couldn't leave him off this list just
No,
because I
I-
watched him so much.
That's a good
and
one.
he just blew people up.
Yeah.
He got flagged a lot. I think
He
he ended
did.
up having to retire because it was starting to dip into his retirement.
Yeah, I think he led the league in fines for a long time. I
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was impressive. But
He wouldn't even be able to make a tackle in today's
Wait,
NFL.
doesn't
No.
he have like a 99-yard touchdown in the
believe
Super
so.
Bowl?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because he forced a fumble
Yeah.
and picked it up and left.
He's like, I just do it myself, and no one's tackling
Yeah.
that guy. No.
And
That's
another
a good
guy
call.
that, in my opinion, may be one of the best middle linebackers of all time, but he just didn't have a super long career.
Yeah.
Is Bobby Wagner.
He's still playing today.
Well, he's
He's on
In
a
a-
really. He's on a three.
He's a Ram, isn't he?
No, he's not.
No, is he a Bill?
Nope, you're wrong. Still,
No, Seattle.
he's on the Commanders.
oh okay,
Oh,
okay.
is he really?
Yep.
Wow. I don't think he's the
I-
same. a
it's not
shell
the
of
Bobby
himself,
Wagner we know.
so.
But
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
he had a great career with the Seattle Seahawks.
He did. Was he
Uh,
a Ram at any point in time? Or do I have
I don't
someone-
think so. I thought he
Yeah,
was.
he played on the
Yeah,
Rams
okay.
for 1 year
That's
and won
what
a Super Bowl with them, I think.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah,
I remember
okay.
him on the Seahawks. He's part of the Legion of Boom. A
Yes,
big
yes.
part of the
Or
Legion
no,
of
he
Boom.
didn't win. It was Vaughn that won the Super Bowl. Wagner was a year after. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get to Vaughn later.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be circling around, but he was great.
Fantastic. Honorable mention to my boy AJ Hawk.
Yes,
Yeah.
The
Matt,
leading
same here.
tackler.
And I want to shout out Clay Matthews too. Like the best line I think. I'm not a dirty football player. I'm an awesome football player.
Just shout out AJ Hawk for being the most toxic human being on earth.
Dude looks like he'd still play right now.
His knees are gone, but
Yeah.
They get in his radius, they're done.
we
You
got
guys
to
want
talk.
to go secondary? Want to do
Yeah,
I
let's-
love me some secondary.
Let's do safe.
do it.
Yeah.
Well, if we go safety,
Did I skip one?
no,
Yeah,
no, we'll go safety. Let's go safety here
we have
because
a
we all
unanimous
have
one?
a unanimous pick
we
here
do.
for
Did you
these
read
two
for it?
safeties.
Not quite.
One of them
Or was it?
is.
I Palomalu.
Well, we both for the
Palamalu.
Palomalu. The
we
hair,
have
the
we
hair.
both have, or all three of us have for our two safety picks: Ed Reed,
Oh, we did.
Troy Polamalu.
It was backwards on here. I was
It
like,
was
wait, I
backwards,
reading
but
it.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
good
those
call.
two are just. I mean, Ed Reed. What was Peyton always said? You got to find him every single play.
Yeah.
He's
he
the
just
old-
knew where to be.
And he tortured Peyton,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Oh, he did. Yeah, the post. He picked him off. Was it Denver? He had multiple picks.
And if Ed Reed decided to get the ball, your receivers better learn how to tackle.
Yeah,
He's
then
taking
nobody
half.
tackled
he
him.
was,
No one.
He was electric as
Yeah.
a pick returner. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, he was. And that Ravens D, I loved it.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Reed, Lewis.
Yeah, that's
they
who you
were
think
so much
of.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I like these guys, these safeties that are quarterbacks of the defense. That
Oh,
just
that's-
know how to read not just the quarterback's eyes, receivers' routes, and he knew
Yeah.
where to be. There's a skill you can't teach.
Nobody
Speaking
read
of-
defense
Like
better
this
Better
than
than Troy
Polamalu.
Polamalu. I mean, I don't even know if he ran it. He was just along the lines of Kelsey, kind of just does
The
How-
instincts.
How
This
does he
instincts.
time a snap count
I don't
that
know.
perfectly that often?
How
I
did
don't
he know
know.
better than the quarterback, the O-line?
Do you
Like-
even remember him getting flagged for that though?
No.
No.
Like
no.
you'd think that as much as he was guessing
Yeah.
or anticipating that he would
Yeah.
get flagged for that all once, which I'm sure it happened, but not as often as he got
No.
over that line.
Absolutely.
I mean, just I don't know if we'll ever see another player like him with those
I don't either. 'Cause,
instincts.
well, these guys, and especially Palomino, I don't know how you teach that. You don't teach that.
No.
The
It's like he knew and he wouldn't tell.
the sack that he got where he jumps over the line
Yes.
and
Yes.
drags the quarterback down to the ground.
Yes.
One of the best videos that you'll ever see.
Oh, it's
just
amazing.
like a
It's
5-second play.
Yeah.
It's just like snap down.
And down. Yeah. And we're forgetting the coolest part: the hair, guys.
Oh.
That hair. Oh, luscious.
Head and Shoulders shampoo commercials.
That's right.
Oh
dang
yeah,
Right.
and shout out to the Pat McAfee story. That's what you
The
said,
Palamalu?
Palamalu.
Angel of Death in the
That
Sea.
was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, just
Oh.
Angel of Death in the Sea grab.
We don't
Just a
have time for
great
that.
one.
Yeah,
but it's a great.
exactly.
Watch that video. It's hilarious.
It is. He almost
But
had
we
the
do
teddy.
need to get to break.
We're gonna take a break. We'll
Yep.
go cornerbacks. We're gonna do some offensive line
Yep.
and some honorable mentions when we come back.
Absolutely. And
Welcome
we
back.
We're back. We're gonna do our
like that.
corners
Cornerbacks.
That's
and
right.
then our offensive line.
Yeah.
So we're
Gotta
gonna start off with our unanimous in the cornerbacks. Is
If you're talking
Revis
corners, you have to go
Island.
this guy.
Revis Island.
Absolutely.
His 2009 season
Yes.
is probably the best season by a cornerback of all time.
Ever. Unreal. The names he faced. It was
Everybody.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson,
Andre
Randy
Johnson.
Moss,
Yeah.
Andre Johnson. I mean, it was like I remember it was like first
gone.
5 weeks. He faced all Hall of Famers.
And held them all under
to
100
like
yards.
no, he held them
Oh,
all
no,
to
he's
under
under
50.
50.
Yeah,
It was like the high was like 39. It was stupid.
just ridiculous.
And I mean-
Revis Island was real, guys.
When you
Very
get a name
real.
like that, I mean, there you
Yeah.
go. And the crazy thing is how much better he made that whole defense. I mean, seriously, when he could isolate their top weapon, freeze all the
Yeah.
other guys up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was unreal. His quickness, the way he could adapt, like his body in the air to the ball was like unreal.
he just took him out of the game. I mean, and then he went to New England, won Super Bowl,
Yeah. I
maybe
forgot.
2. I don't remember how many.
I think he
did
got
there.
one. And
Maybe
then,
1. Then he
yeah,
retired. So
he retired.
I mean,
But shout out to Revis Island.
Revis Island.
He's
There's
all the way.
nobody better for us.
No,
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Can't
And
argue that one.
I went with my heart on my second pick.
All right.
I'm gonna give a co-host on this one. I put Darnell Savage on my graphic that's going to show up here. Great Packers cornerback for a long time. As I was thinking about that, and as we kind of started the show and started talking about corners, I also brought up Tramon Williams in my mind. Both of them had huge impacts in that Packers Super Bowl run. That was a Packers team that gave up a ton of points. Their defense was terrible, but what they also did is they got picks. They got turnovers. Really similar to the
gamble a little bit.
Packers defense that's going on right now. Not that good of a defense, but they turn the ball over.
That's true.
Now, I don't think they have quite a talented quarterback, but
I don't know.
Jordan Love's looking pretty solid.
He's pretty
last
good.
week.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought you might go Alexander, honestly.
Jair Alexander, he's probably the better of all three of those guys, but the guy can't stay healthy.
That's fair. That's fair. I went with a guy. It's not sentimental. It's more like he aggravated me for many years. Is in Mr. Ty Law. He picked on me with the Rams days. Super Bowl. Thanks a lot, butthole. Pick against Warner. That was huge. And that Super Bowl won that for them. Then Manning. I believe he picked him three times in one of the AFC Championship games. 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Just drove me nuts. But I'll tell you what. It's kind of one of those things. End of the day. It's like with Brady. How I've came full circle. It's like, you know what? Screw you. But I respect you.
So,
and he was quiet. Did his thing. You know.
Going into Ty Law, I actually have a story with him. I used to play like in high school and college. I played a ton of Madden. So Madden, in that time, Ty Law was a cheat code, dude. I remember playing with some friends. Actually, guys, you may have been one of them I played with. We called Ty Law the Law because on Madden it just showed up as T Law. So we called him the Law because you threw it in his kitchen, it was getting picked probably, or at least swatted. Yeah. Ty Law.
I was
Madden
thinking
cheat code.
John Kuhn fullback screen.
Oh yeah, that one.
Man, I should put him on here.
That was a cheat code.
That was stupid. It really was.
So with
Yeah,
my
that was
guy,
great.
I'm gonna go with Champ Bailey, another
he's very
stud
good.
in that time frame of Revis. I think you could call them. I mean, Champ Bailey is probably a Hall of Famer. I think.
Yep.
Top five
he is.
coolest
Top
names
five.
of all time.
Great name.
And your name's Champ. You're gonna be great at sports.
You know,
there you go.
could almost say 1A, 1B with him and Revis
Yeah.
on, who was better
he
during
had
that time.
longevity on
He had
Revis, for
longevity for sure.
He
was
did,
on
yeah.
those Broncos teams. I
I think
think
he stuck around
Broncos
with the
and
Panthers for
Commanders?
several
Yeah.
years after that.
he started
think
with the
so, yeah.
Commanders. Will stay
They
there.
were the Redskins.
and
then
then
come on.
Then he got
guys.
traded for Clinton Portis, and then went to
And draft picks. Like
Yeah.
the Broncos gave him Portis, which I
Yeah.
thought, whoa, and like a first rounder. So
Yeah.
That's
and
how good
then
he
got a
was.
Hall of Fame cornerback. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He took away
So,
best weapons.
we're
like
gonna bring
Revis.
up what our
Yeah.
defense looks like right here.
We'll do that, and I mean, you look at this graphic. Holy crap! Like the names here, like we've seen some talented players.
We actually didn't go too homer on this one. My
No,
Darnell
we didn't.
Savage is absolutely a
Well,
homer pick because
my-
he wouldn't be on anyone else's list.
I had to think about who that was for a hot minute. But I'll be honest, my teams have not historically had very good defenses. Like, if I'm going Chiefs, Tyrann Mathieu was fun for a hot minute, but I didn't have much to choose from. So we're going to flip this back over, and we're going to go to offense here pretty soon. Like, we got to give the big, beefy guy some credit, right? I mean,
Oh yeah,
what's the coolest thing in football? I mean, it's a fat guy touchdown.
fat guy touchdown.
Then what do you get? Fat guy dance. There you go. So
Is the mics off right now?
I'm not sure that any of these guys got the tutties, but we got to give him some respect. My favorite fat guy, not even that fat, Jason Kelsey. My favorite Kelsey brother, too.
Okay.
This guy,
Love it.
actually, he aged like fine wine. Like, towards the end of his
Dude just
career.
kept getting better.
He actually did, yeah. And the way he could pull, come out, lead blocks, unreal. His athleticism. Like,
I'm
he
actually
was
surprised he didn't make all
undersized.
three of our lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys, get on board. Jason
He's on
Kelsey's great.
mine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
But
you got
that-
him there
that's what
too.
I love with him was not only how smart he was, cerebral with like reading defense and stuff. You're seeing the Eagles struggle without him right now. You really are. But the way that he could get out, move downfield, and he was undersized. He was a cool story. Like
Yeah.
he was a 6th-round pick, I believe. Not many of those make it.
What did he come
And
out of?
dude, he did.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yep.
He didn't get a scholarship. He was a walk-on. He worked his way up through there. Stayed all 4 years. 6th-round pick. Expected to get cut. No, he was there for what? 13 years.
Maybe just there because his brother was coming along.
No, he was.
No, he was older.
They're coming along.
Oh, coming along.
He's-
No, because he had drug problems in college. So yeah, he wasn't that big
He
ticket.
was there because I think that's where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland Heights, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, do you want me to give all of mine?
Yeah,
or-
give
Yeah,
me
go
all
ahead.
of them.
Well,
You
Jeff
guys
Saturday.
both had.
Snap the freaking ball, Jack.
Ah,
Yeah.
I call the plays. You just block. That's all you do. It's one of the coolest interchanges that no punches were thrown, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
with Manning and Saturday. And I just love Saturday. He's a cool dude. He really, a great football player in his own right. Multiple Pro Bowls, everything. And he was a big part of that offense. Like,
For a while, if there was like a really like juggernaut offense, you just pay attention like who's snapping the ball in that.
yeah.
It was Jeff
No,
Saturday.
That's true. It was, yeah, he did. And he stayed
He was
around a
also
long time.
the center for a lot of those really high octane Packer teams.
Yeah, I was going to say he ended up with the Packers, 2-3 years into
Yep.
his career? Yeah, he had a great career. Yeah, because in that Pro Bowl, did he switch sides?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
One of the coolest moments in football. It's
Yep.
really cool. He's a good dude.
My last one. This is another homer pick, sort of.
That's not a homer pick.
Okay.
I have him on my
You've
list
Pace
too.
Yeah,
Orlando
I love
Pace.
Orlando Pace. I mean, I said earlier about Falk was the key point of that offense, but that greatest show on turf didn't work without Pace.
Yeah.
He protected blindside.
I would think he's one of the greatest offense or left tackles of all time.
Yeah, I think so. What
Dude
stunk
was so good in college
yeah.
that as a offensive lineman, he got Heisman votes.
Holy crap! I didn't realize that.
He got Heisman votes.
He was a monster. He was huge.
He coined the term pancake blocks in
Yes.
college for Ohio State, and he got Heisman votes.
That's amazing.
That's how good the dude was.
Well, yeah, when you have something named after you, like we talked Revis Island, the pancake
Pancake block.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So, okay, well, I feel better about that
Yeah,
then.
yeah that's not
He
a
was
homer
amazing.
pick. He is
Yeah.
an absolute stud.
He was. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he's Hall of Fame.
He is.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. I know injuries towards the end of his career, like it stunk. He didn't play much, but still, like he had a heck of a run.
Yeah.
he did. What you got, big guy?
Well, I actually went with a little bit of a duel here. Mostly, being that I grew up in a home that watched a lot of Steelers.
Yeah, I see that. The Steelers Packers connection.
So I went with the Pouncey brothers. They were
Okay.
both centers in the NFL. Marquise was the much better one, the one that played in, I think, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well,
Didn't they both play in Pittsburgh for?
for a little bit, but
For a
I
hot
think
minute.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
they were
actually.
both on
I
the
looked
same
it
team.
up,
But I thought,
I know Florida. They were the same team.
Okay.
right?
Yeah, they were on the
Florida.
Florida
yeah,
teams.
they definitely both went to Florida.
Yeah.
But
I
for
was
some reason,
thinking
I was
it
thinking they had
wasn't a
both
long
a year where they were both on Pittsburgh.
I,
That's what I
I
thought
looked.
it's
I
like a
tried to
year,
look it
that's
up
all.
earlier. I didn't see it.
Oh,
so.
okay. Maybe not. You know, we miss sometimes.
But I went with both of them because they were kind of a package deal for a little while in
Yeah,
college, and
they
then they both ended up having pretty good careers. Marquise much better, but
Yeah.
they were both solid, and
That's
like
a
I
good
said,
call.
grew up watching some Pittsburgh and
Oh,
remembered
yeah.
how solid he was.
They had a solid.
Another thing that I also loved in Madden. So
you those Madden
Side note:
connections.
we all three did have Jason Kelsey on our list.
Oh, there we go.
So,
All right, I feel
and then
much
you
better
can
as a
give your
shout-out.
guy, and I can give my last guy too.
Do it.
All right.
Let's hear it.
I want Homer on my last one. A guy that if he could just stay healthy, probably one of the best tackles that you could have right now, because he was Rodgers' boy.
Yep.
That was the guy that protected him, loved him.
You brought
Rodgers
him with him, didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he come to New York too?
No.
Last year.
No.
Oh, I
No.
thought. Oh
No.
I'm sorry. There's talks of that.
Uh-huh.
No,
didn't
I
happen.
think Bakhtiari retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last year. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he basically, once the Packers finally gave up
He-
on him, he just called it quits.
Yeah.
But a guy that is, he deletes beers for one thing. Love that about him.
You
he's-
can relate. There you go.
He's just outstanding when he's healthy. It's few and far between, and
Yeah,
I
it's
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
he's fantastic.
There's a lot of those games like this. That's gonna happen.
Yep.
But who you
My
got?
last guy, also I think he's a Hall of Famer, but also just
Oh.
remember him for being just the biggest human I've ever laid my eyes on.
You are correct on both
Jonathan
of those.
Ogden
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
Hall of Famer.
for the Baltimore
I
Ravens.
think he had a longer tenure than Pace.
I think
actually.
he did
was-
an absolute juggernaut on the offensive line. I
Yeah.
think everyone remembers him just because he's so dang big, but
He was.
he was a big part of those Ravens teams. You know, the defense was the main part, but they didn't have to have that great
Yeah,
of
you kept
offense
Flacco
because
upright.
you kept the guys upright, and
Yeah.
and they also had Jamal Lewis back then
Yeah.
too.
And-
Just
Oh,
an
okay.
absolute stud
Yeah.
for
Oh
them
gosh,
too.
he was there. A
He
while,
was
'cause
there
he
for a
with
long
Flacco
time.
and-
I think he was on both those Super Bowl teams.
I think you're right, which is quite a stretch
Yeah.
there. Well, that's a good pick. I thought about him,
Yeah.
honestly. I had to go with Kelsey. I had to go with I like the smaller guys. Love me some Kelsey.
All right, so now we're gonna go with some honorable mentions of guys that didn't quite make our list,
lot of
but
these
are
are
some
gonna
of our
cross over,
favorites.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys have been mentioned already. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start off with I'm gonna kind of just go down my list. And,
Do it, yeah.
Yep.
Name your
And then
yeah.
you guys do the same.
Yep.
I'm gonna start off with the guy that I honestly was surprised wasn't on any of our first teams because
Yeah.
he may be one of the best defensive tackles of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he
that's
is.
Aaron Donald.
I think
He might be the best defensive
Yeah.
tackle
he's
of all
another
time.
guy who was undersized somewhat, but so stout and so quick.
Well,
So
there's no way you
strong.
should weigh 300 and have abs. So,
Yes,
So
exactly. stupid. He was unreal.
He trained with
Physical
knives.
and then my next guy has no abs, Vince Wilfork, but he had a
Yeah, but you ain't moving that boy.
no, you ain't
are
moving
not.
that boy, and
No.
he had a nose for the football. Sometimes he
nose
just
back.
showed up for it.
His dad jokes are good, man.
The next I went Terrell Owens, one of the best personalities that you had coming through football. I remember bringing
Spiking
out
the
the
star.
Sharpie and
Yeah,
out of his
yeah.
sock and signing a ball and throwing it into the stands. And another one, a guy that I thought should have been on our tight ends list that didn't make it,
Yeah.
Antonio Gates. He was part of that era that when tight ends are really becoming a thing.
Guys, this
And-
list was hard.
It was very hard.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was.
And then a guy that's current that we mentioned his brother an awful lot, but we said this guy might be better.
Yep.
It's T.J. Watt.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. End of his career, he probably
might.
beat numbers.
Yeah, he's
probably
won
will.
a couple defensive players of the year already,
Yeah,
and
he
there's a
has.
couple that he probably could have won. I thought that he could have taken that one
This-
from Myles Garrett last
Yep,
year.
last year. It was
You got
he was
one
right
more
there.
person.
Oh yeah, and then
How you
Dion,
miss this
prime
one?
time.
Yeah.
Prime time. Went right by him. This guy was early in our era of watching football.
Yes.
But I had to throw him in there because he's relevant again, coaching the Colorado Buffaloes.
Absolutely.
And
He's entertaining. We'll
'cause
see how
we've
well
got a son that's probably going to be in the NFL in the next couple of
he
years.
might be a top 10 pick.
Yep.
Honestly, Shadoo's pretty
All
talented.
right, so I'll go with
Yeah.
mine. So first two guys I'm going to mention, both Rams players. So St. Louis. I mean, I wasn't as big of a Rams
Yeah.
fan, but I did watch because St. Louis.
Mhm.
But of course, Kurt Warner. You know,
There
the
you go.
American underdog story.
Yeah,
can't
cool
say enough
story.
about him. Greatest show on turf. I mean, he's
Well, he
gotta be
raised two
mentioned.
Titanics. The Rams, look where they were
Yeah.
before him, and Arizona.
Yes.
He got them to the Super Bowl.
Woody mentioned Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
Of course, I remember watching him all the time. T.O., one of my favorite players.
Yep.
You did not mention this, but the dude tried to win a Super Bowl on a broken leg and just completely
I forgot
torched
about that.
the Patriots on a
yeah.
broken leg.
He had screws
I
in his
mean,
ankle.
yeah,
didn't
it was
he?
ridiculous.
Yeah. That he won me over on that.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big T.O. fan, and I'm like, wow, the heart to get out there play on that.
Yeah.
Give it to you.
Gotta give George Kittle some love too. Just a great personality.
I'm not gonna have much left.
Another guy we did not mention, but could definitely be up there. He's still playing. Von Miller.
You're welcome.
right.
An absolute
One,
stud.
one
There-
Peyton
there's
Manning.
a
He
Super
got
Bowl.
yes. I mean, he did win that.
you
He's
ask Cam
also
Newton, he took
he's
it from
also a
him.
chicken farmer. Fun fact.
Really?
Absolutely loves. We went to A&M, which is a big ag school.
Nice.
Started college there and
Actually,
took
that
some
blows my mind.
Did not
courses.
know that, but
Big
I did not.
chicken
No.
farmer.
Never
Yep.
would have guessed that.
And then my last guy,
Wow,
J.J.
shit.
Watt. Of course, I didn't have him on my
Absolutely.
list, but he's an
Yeah.
absolute
Well, he needs to
stud.
be there somewhere,
He
right?
gotta be
Absolutely.
there
Here he is.
somewhere.
There we go, JJ.
Ride that bull.
No one's
Yeah.
looking, are they? Here we go. I'll leave him.
All right, Woody.
Mine, we mentioned Warner. Love the guy. Also, I want to mention with him how charitable he is out in
Yep.
St. Louis. Still is, 20-some years after playing football there. Coat drive. He's a great human
Dude's
being.
bagging groceries,
Humanitarian. Yep.
He was.
He gives back. He knows his roots. CMC, who I had at running back. I mean, he's one of the best dual threat backs nowadays. All around game. Loved him in college, Stanford. Got to give him his due. Megatron, you mentioned him. Kittle, yeah, you guys cleaning me out here. Tony Gonzalez. The last honorable mention I had is Joe Thomas. The dude played through so much pain stuff in Cleveland. Was a gamer. A lot of crap teams.
Absolutely.
He put it in. He deserves recognition. Great player.
For sure.
All right.
That's all we got, guys.
So here's the
There's
last
list.
look of our list. You
Yeah.
guys can see it, critique it. We don't really care.
Absolutely.
You know,
Thank
whatever.
We like
Everyone for checking
All
out
right,
these
Eric.
lists. We really
Absolutely.
enjoyed this. This
Yeah.
one was a lot of fun.
This
It's
might have
re-
been the most fun we've had.
Yes,
it was very
this was
fun.
Love it. We're just some guys here talking football. That's
Yeah.
fun. It's like having fun, reminiscing.
Yes.
All this goes back to
Yes.
childhood. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed it half as much as we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
With that being said, have a good night.
See you again next
and
week.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
There you go. Stay classy, Southern Illinois.